started lifting the shallots. Now it's very tempting just to grab the stalks and yank them out the ground. But for the sake of a few extra seconds, get a little hand fork, pop it underneath the bulb, lift it up and they come out quite easy and there's no damage. There we go folks, that's the shallots harvested and I must say I'm fairly happy with that. Variety is Golden Gourmet. Say the average size is around about golf ball, some a little bit bigger, some a little bit smaller. But most of these, well in fact all of them, these will go for pickling. I just love pickled onions. As I said, I'm happy with that crop. Just going to give this a light dusting over now and probably a bit of sprinkling of bloodfish and bone like they rake it in. This area I kept aside for the leeks, but as you know, they've been very much success with those. I was really looking forward to growing the leeks this year. After last year's disaster, I thought there are some good ones this year. You saw from the earlier video, I think it was, where the tough ball onions had got flattened, so I wasn't too bothered about them. I was happy to rip them out. And behind them is also some onion sets which have done no good. I've never had so much space in the onion bed and got nothing to put in. These, can you believe these, have been in sown 5 months ago and look at the state of them. Fortunately for me, I've got some generous plot holders on site and they've donated some of their excess stock, so at least I'll be able to plant those in part of the bed. But that's gardening, I suppose. I was noticing this morning the veggie pod has sprung up again inside. Just look at these. These onions need to come out. I've got carrots in between here which need thinning out, and also the radishes are ready as well. Beetroot's coming out. Harvest time again. Got there a lovely bunch of ramrod. I'm about to plant out the leeks now. What I'm doing, I'm putting 10 in a row, probably about 15 centimetres apart, and again about 15 to 18 centimetres deep, just using this wooden dipper. It does help if the soil is a bit moist, because it retains the shape of the hole better. I'm just going to remove the soil from the leeks now. Just tease it away. Once you've got the bulk of it off, just pop them into a bucket and they separate quite easily. So that's the leeks all separated. I do like to trim the roots on the leek to about 3 centimetres below the base, and that's purely just to put them into the hole. It does make it quite a lot easier, and as you lower them down, just twist it and they drop straight to the bottom. The final thing to do is to give them a watering. Just fill the hole up to the top and let the soil settle on its own. I've got 4 rows in the end. There's a couple down the bottom there, a bit bigger than the rest. I've cadged those off another plot holder. So that back end in the middle bed there is where the red onions are. I'm going to rip those out. I was going to try and fill those with leeks again, but because the crops failed, I'll just leave it barren. So that's the leeks planted for this year. We've had numerous blight warnings over the last week or so. These potatoes in the containers, the buckets, the foliage has died down now, so I'm going to just take the tops off and actually going to empty the buckets. We got some good weather the next day or two. Hopefully that'll dry them out quick. Not going to bother filming them. I'll just take them out of the buckets and show you what crop I got of each one at the end. I've just harvested the rest of the Swift potatoes. As you can see, a decent crop where everyone is hit by scab, and really I'm very happy with that at all. However, totally different story once I've lifted one bucket of the Shallots. I'll just go and show you. This is the first bucket of Shallots I've harvested. I'll just put my hand in there just to get an idea of the size, and clean as a whistle, no scab on them at all, same compost, everything, just don't make sense. Anyway, here's hoping the next 8 buckets a similar crop. That's 9 buckets of Shallots, and to be honest, I prefer these to the actual Swift. So it's very tempting for me to say next year I might be doing 2 staggered sowings of the Charlotte. So these are the size that I like potatoes, nothing too big, nice and clean. The odd bit of scab here and there, but in general I'm happy with them. The broccoli, or calabrese to give its proper name, is ready now. These heads mature very very quickly, and within the matter of a few days they can actually blow, so you do need to keep your eye on them. Could probably leave this for another day or two, but to save it, risk of it going, I'm going to take it off now. Just cut below the head, and you get the head like that. If you just point into this stalk here, if you just use your knife, create a little cross, and one the other way. That cross there will actually produce extra florets off the side. You can pick those towards your other meal. So that's nice, 3 heads of broccoli picked, make a good meal. I just spent half an hour in the sunshine shelling these. Nice crop. Probably better got another 1 more pick in the end of the week and that's it, but all in all, really happy with the Hurst Greenshalt this year. I'm just trying to empty the veggie pod out for another sowing. Another, well, 2 bunches here. This spring onion is called ramrod. If you've never grown it, definitely give it a try. Grows ever so fast. I must have given 6 bunches of these, and as you can see, the quality is fairly good. And also, I'll just pop in there. There's another harvest, French breakfast 3, radish. I'm in the allotment greenhouse now. It's a bit tight for space with the camera, but I hope you can see this. I've just come to pick a cucumber, and we're on to these are the mini Munch. These just keep pumping fruit out all the time. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on here, and there's 3 on there, and just over there there's another one with 3 on. So I pick these quite regular, but they just appear. I'm just going to take another couple off now. 1 there. I'll probably have that one there. Another mini Munch, I've just picked 4. Ideal size for a sandwich box or something. You don't need to leave them lying around in the fridge. 9 times out of 10 you can use them as is. If you haven't tried mini Munch, recommend it. In the greenhouse now, the tomatoes are starting to turn red. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift the canopy up of the plants and remove all the foliage right the way up to the first truss. So that's the canopy of the tomato plants lifted up. I must say it has let quite a lot more light in, and that will benefit the peppers quite a lot. Notice them few nights we had where the temperatures dropped, it did clobber a few cucumbers and they've succumbed to it, but not to worry, the others are still producing quite a lot, as I said before. So that's the state of the allotment greenhouse for the time being. So that's about it for this one. Just before I go, I've noticed popping through the supermarkets, there's quite a lot of the gardening items. I'm actually discounted now because they're winding them down, ready to put something else in. I've had a couple of nice pairs of leather palm gloves for £2.50, real bargain. But the best bargain for me was in Morrison's, I think it was, and it was these beasts. These candles here, they cost me £3 each. I think there was £9 originally each. And as you know, I use the candles for just taking the chill off the greenhouse during the colder nights. Not sure how long they burn. I would guess probably 150, 200 hours each of these will be, but that was Morrison's. There's only 2 on the shelf, unfortunately, and I had both of them, £3 each. A great bargain. Keep your eyes out for them. That's about it for this one. Till the next time, see you later. Bye for now.